All right, all right, all right. Good evening. A happy Sunday evening to you all. Hope everybody's doing great. My name is Mark with Crypto for Seniors. And this is where we talk about all things crypto, excuse me, as well as retirement and investments. We are live right now, and of course, we are recorded. So if you're not with us today, then hopefully you can watch this recorded. Okay. We will be taking some questions throughout the night. And I do have a list of some questions. We're going to watch a few videos, and I want to focus a little bit on some recent news, and that is involving the SEC and how they're reacting to Ethereum 2.0. So if you don't know much about it, just stay tuned with us. We're going to be on for just about an hour or so. Okay. So, like I said, if you have any questions, please feel free. Go ahead and jump into chat and get that sent over to us. All right. Give me 1 second here. Let me pull up a quick slide. There we go. So I do want to take a moment here real quick just to start off and invite you, if you are not already a subscriber, to our website, please consider doing so, Crypto for Seniors. And again, it's. I don't want to mislead you here on the name. That is our main focus to teach seniors and folks that are a little bit older that maybe don't know anything about crypto. It's not my job to sell you anything. I am not a financial planner. Okay. Basically, I'm a guy on the internet that has experience in a couple of areas, and that is retirement, because as you can see, I am retired, and it was a good thing. It was the right time, not by my choice. Interesting enough, it ended up that my wife retired at exactly the same month. Neither one of us planned to do that. So it just goes to show that as you're approaching the senior years, things may be out of your control. So you need to be ready for it. Okay. And that's my job here with Crypto for Seniors, is to make sure that when you're ready for it, you are prepared financially. Okay. Again, not financial advice. Please, if there's anything in here that you learned from today, that is the fact that nothing I give you will be financial advice. Please always seek counsel, talk to your attorney, see if that works for your life plan as you go forward. And this is important even if you're in your 20s or 30s or 40s. Okay, you need to do some financial planning. I will tell you that with everything that I have done in my life with setting myself up for retirement, I did start at the age of 19 with my very first home. It was a great home, did very, very well when I sold it. And that's how I started my journey to end up where I currently live. And it's a beautiful ranch style home, and we're on a golf course. And, I use my knowledge of investment and to real estate to grow and developed some buying strategies on some stocks. And that's another rabbit hole we'll get down at some point in time. But now with the world of crypto, I've done extremely well. And that's also something we'll cover in another video. So today we're going to get back and focus on the SEC and what does that matter to you? What is the importance of the ruling from the SEC that in Ethereum or Ethereum 2.0 is not a security? Okay. And that is huge because that actually will pave the way. At least those of us in the community, we think that will pave the way in the future to go towards alt cryptos. Okay. We don't really see anything happening too much to Bitcoin at this point, but they are going after some of the altcoins. I know you remember about Ripple or XRP, and there's been several others that have kind of been ganged up on. So we do have some videos. I do want to kind of jump right into that. You can leave me a message, do a little @ and click on Crypto for Seniors, and that highlights it and sends it over to me, and I will try to answer your questions. Okay. My two moderators that are supposed to be here with me are actually together tonight, and they are not here with me. So we're going to see how our chat is going, and I'm still going to be able to see it, but we get some crazies every once in a while, and sometimes I have a lot of fun with that. That's just who I am. So let's go ahead and get started. So again, let me remind you, if you go ahead and jump into the Crypto for Seniors YouTube page, we've got a lot of really good information. I am very active in the community tab in the back, so there's a lot of really good information. Here's the thing I did on homeless and how 40% of the singles that are in these homeless camp, 40% of them are seniors. And this was an article that I covered in our community tab. So be sure that you do check that out. We've got all kinds of playlists set up for you Got some great videos on anything investment wise. Here's a really good one on a movement that's been around for a while called the FIRE movement. Here's a great one right over here. It's got a lot of traction, and that is the American retirement nightmare. Making sure that when you retire, you've got enough money. What does that mean? What does that look like? And the one thing that you won't find from, damn, just lost my light. Okay, well, interesting. Okay, things happen. So bear with me. We're going to go ahead and keep on going. Huh. Okay. Sorry about that. So, uh, the one thing that we're going to give you that not a lot of content creators can is we're going to give you something called the 4% rule. The 4% rule. Now, I know I'm talking about math, but it's actually, I give you the exact calculation that you put into a calculator. Okay. And that is basically where you're going to take your expenses, what it takes for you to survive on a day in and day out basis. And using a very simple math calculation, you could turn it into exactly how much money do you need to retire. And you can even play with the scenarios of what happens if I live to 80? What happens if I live to 85? What happens if I live to 90? What happens if I live to 95? I mean, I was watching TV and I saw a 109-year-old person. 109. Okay. I'm not going to plan that for myself, but I did plan for 70, 80, 85, and 90. So I know the dollar amount that I have to have so that I can retire in the lifestyle that I want to be for the rest of my life. Okay. I have those numbers. Isn't that really what we all want as we're approaching the retirement age, is to get to know exactly how much money we need to have so that we can retire comfortably? So I don't know about you, but I got to tell you, I sleep so much better. So, great article about that. Check out the FIRE movement. These are a couple of the hot ones. The other one is right over here, the American retirement nightmare. And then down here at the bottom, if you would like to know what I'm currently holding, what my portfolio looks like. Now, this is crypto only. Okay. From time to time, you can find it somewhere around, anywhere from about 45,000 to about 70,000. Currently, I'm right in about the 50,000 range that are active cryptos that I'm holding. The rest of it is not really in cash, but it is in stable coins. And with Bitcoin down to 65,000 at the time of this recording, Bitcoin is probably something I'm going to move that cash into, because basically all crypto is at a fire sale right now. Okay. So a lot of really good information here. Right here is the video that I was telling you about. And then of course over here, how do you protect your crypto when you're gone? And that is another important thing. So I do have a lot of videos that will help you through that as you acquire your wealth. This just kind of gives you an idea of some of them. They are all high production quality, so not going to bore you when you start. Okay. All right, let's get into it. Now, I will be sucking on some candy. I'm just getting over a cold, and I'm not going to be able to talk too terribly much. So let me suck on a little something, kind of keep my mouth going. All right, let's go ahead and get started. I'll come back here. This is a new software that we are getting to the point that I think we need to start. There we go. That we need to start with. As you know, I've done a lot of live streams, and each one has always been a different software. And we had some problem with some reverb back on the microphone. This is actually a software called StreamYard, and it seems to do really well. Okay. All right. So before we get started, I do want to talk about one thing here real quickly. And that is, I am so pleased to announce, as of a couple of days ago, a partnership with the Goldshell brand. Now, Goldshell is a very well recognized company out of China, and they manufacture, I would say, altcoin equipment. I'm sure you're familiar with the baby doges because they're very wild. They're literally wildly popular. I've got several of them right now. I just picked up some of the Doge 3s. There's a resurgence of Litecoin and Doge, and the market is looking good on the future of those two. So I picked up a couple of those, but I've been talking with Goldshell, and they have been reaching out with us. And we finally did come up with a partnership. So I am very, very glad to announce, as you can see, we are now very proud partners of the Goldshell brand. And I am going to be bringing some information, excuse me. I'm going to be bringing some information to you real soon on some pricing and some new equipment that's coming out. And we hope to work with Goldshell and produce a little bit of content with them, and in turn get some items that we can turn around and give out to the Crypto for Seniors community. So we're very, very, very excited to announce that. It was something that we have been working on for a while, and we are so excited, so pleased, and so honored to be working with the staff of the Goldshell team. Very, very good equipment. 1 second, let me pull this up. Okay. If you have not been to their site, please stop by there. It is goldshell.com. Go over here to the shop. Sorry about that. So what we have is a brand new listing. This one just came to market. This is the Goldshell Mini Doge 3. Now, this is the Goldie version. This is your standard Goldshell, okay? This is your standard Mini Doge 3, except all these graphics on the side. Pricing is exactly the same. You have an option. You can do the dual mode, which is what I would recommend, or the internet. I'm sorry, Ethernet. Okay. Ethernet only is $49.95, and the dual mode is $7.59. Okay. And that's only one in their line. There are some others. Here is the standard one. So if you want to get all the graphics, it looks extremely cool. They do exactly the same. Now you can get into some of the larger if you have more power in your home. The good thing, though, is these smaller units, these all take 110. So they're perfect for any home miner. I've got several of these myself. Now, I can actually run them on 220 and they do just fine. It's a little bit more efficient if you do that and saves on your electric rate. But any of those you can run on 110. Now, if you choose to get into something a little bit more powerful of the machines, then typically you are going into the 220 area. Prices are very, very good, as you can see, for the equipment. This particular one does 4.4 terahash. And they've got something that's really fun. I can't wait to pick this thing up. This is the Goldshell watch. And as you can see right there, you can actually see how some of the cryptos are doing. I think that's just amazing. I can't wait to get my hands on that. Isn't that cute? Now, the fun thing is that if you order any of the miners right now, what they're doing is they're discounting and they're going down to $49.95 as opposed to $69.95 for the watch. I can't wait to get some of those in. I'm going to bring in some of those and we're going to do them as giveaways to our community. So, like I said, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, please do so. Otherwise, you're going to miss out on some really fun giveaways. Okay. Please do me a favor and stop by Goldshell. Send them some love. They are a great company to work with. If you do have a problem, they're very, very quick, very active to fight whatever that situation is and make it right. Goldshell. Check them out. All right. Well, thank you again to my folks over at Goldshell. It has been a long time coming, and I greatly appreciate you selecting Crypto for Seniors. All right, here we go. We're going to get in and check out this very, very short video. This is one I just produced so that I am going to be calling attention to a new video I'm going to be dropping real soon. And this one's entitled, It Happened. The SEC ruling Ethereum is not a security. This is one of the problems with the software. Bear with me. Doesn't let me keep pulling these things up and make it real easy.
In a landmark decision, the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, or SEC, has officially classified Ethereum as a commodity. This ruling has sent ripples throughout the cryptocurrency world, signaling a major shift in how digital assets are regulated. For years, the question of whether Ethereum should be deemed a security or a commodity has been a subject of intense debate. The SEC's recent announcement provides much-needed clarity, potentially paving the way for broader adoption and investment in Ethereum. This classification carries significant implications for investors, developers, and the future of the cryptocurrency market as a whole. Understanding the rationale behind the SEC's decision and its potential ramifications is crucial for anyone involved in the digital asset space. We will delve into the details of this groundbreaking ruling in our full video found at Crypto for Seniors.
All right. So short and sweet, just wanted to give you just kind of a taste of what is coming. And we do have a wonderful video on that. It is right now in the process of being produced. Okay, we are going to jump to the next video.
Welcome to ETF Edge, your go-to place for everything exchange-traded funds. I'm Pippa Stevens, in for Bob Pisani. Amid a flurry of activity late last week, the SEC surprised both the crypto and ETF worlds by approving the listing of spot Ethereum funds for trading. Joining me now is Jan Van Eck, CEO of Van Eck and the first applicant for spot Ethereum ETF. Also with us is Todd Sohn, ETF and technical strategist at Strategas. So Jan, I want to start with you because now that you have this approval, what can we expect next?
Sure. We got step one, which is the exchanges have the green light to list Ethereum spot ETFs. Step two is our prospectuses need to be approved. So we're in the process of getting comments from the SEC to get it in line with what their expectations are. And I assume that's true for all the other 8 other applicants for the spot ETF approval.
And so then does this decision, settle, Jan, the outstanding question of our cryptos a security or a commodity question? Does it provide more clarity on that?
This is really one of the most amazing things that I've seen in my career with respect to securities regulation. What happened is there was a bipartisan vote in the House of Representatives to give authority for what I call blockchain software or crypto or digital assets, but let's call it blockchain software, take it from the SEC and give it to the CFTC. Now that probably won't be voted on in the Senate this year. The name of the bill is FIT 21. But the fact that that got 60 to 70 Democratic representatives in the House meant that there was a real risk that the SEC was going to lose any kind of jurisdiction over digital assets. So the first reaction was to get the ETF, Ethereum ETF approval green lighted. But I think there's a bigger narrative going on as well.
Certainly seems like shifting winds in Washington. And now, Todd, I want to bring you in here because with all the retail hype aside, we've now seen institutional adoption of Bitcoin ETFs by the likes of Morgan Stanley and Wells Fargo. Will that kind of smooth out some of the volatility that we've seen in the past for cryptocurrencies?
Yeah, it's a great question, and I think first of all, this is a win for all investors, right, across the spectrum, retail institutions. You can now get different types of crypto in the ETF wrapper, and I'm sure you'll start to see issuers address the space in different manners, whether it's cross-linking equity with crypto or different types of crypto and trend following strategies. Will it smooth out the volatility? I mean, crypto's always been a volatile asset. I don't know if these ETFs will ever change that. We'll see how the forward returns look like. I would be skeptical that all of a sudden you're going to start to see more short duration or equity-like volatility from the crypto space, just given the past history. So on one end, a win for access in the ETF wrapper. But on the other hand, if you're going to start to add cryptocurrencies to your portfolio, just be mindful of you're adding a very high dosage of volatility. I think that's really the most important message going forward for investors.
All right, so a win for access, but Todd, do you expect the same type of reception for Ethereum as we've seen for Bitcoin? They have a really different use case for each, and adoption by both retail and institutional investors, could potentially be slower here, given just less awareness of Ethereum and what.
Let me ask you real quick, if you would, go ahead and put it down into chat. I'm very curious on how many of you understand exactly what an ETF is. I do have a really good video, and we can pull that up sometime and let you watch it. And I can delve into that for another one of our videos. But put down in chat if you know what an ETF is. Okay, back to the video.
That product is?
Yeah, you might be onto something there. And the analogy I'm wondering if it's appropriate is if Bitcoin is to gold, then Ethereum might be to silver. And that, again, those are completely different investment use cases. But you look at something like the iShares Silver Trust, that has about 12 billion in it, whereas GLD is upwards of 60. So I would imagine there will be demand for Ethereum, especially those who may find the risk-reward profile more attractive. But I do not suspect that we'll see the same hype as we saw with the original spot Bitcoin ETFs back in January. And you saw the same thing last year with the Ethereum futures ETFs, right? Bitcoin futures ETFs had pretty good demand out of the gate, and the Ethereum products kind of fell flat in their face. So it'll be up to Van Eck, it'll be up to other issuers to help explain the differences. But but I suspect for a lot of investors, just getting Bitcoin exposure will be good enough for them in terms of their cryptocurrency sleeve of the portfolios.
And Jan, I asked the same question here to you. What kind of reception are you expecting for this future product?
That's also something I'd like to know. If you would also put down into the chat, just so that we have kind of an idea, and it helps us to know what kind of future videos that we need to do. The people that I'm talking to, at least at this point, are only considering Bitcoin ETFs. That's it. They're not considering anything else, at least at this point, just because of how strongly people feel about Bitcoin and its adoption throughout the world. And I think they're a little concerned on some of the alts that are starting to come up. And, we'll talk about that. I don't think there's anything at this point that I have seen personally, and none of this is financial advice. Remember that. I'm just a guy on the internet that does have some background and knowledge. And I've managed to do very well for me. That's all I'm going to talk about is my journey. And if you learned something from my journey, then great. But please, none of this is financial advice. Okay, let's get back to it.
And how are you going to, lead to bigger awareness for Ethereum and why this product is attractive?
I think the biggest overwhelming thing is sort of what Todd alluded to, which is the education aspect of talking to investors. So there's the first piece, which you alluded to, Pippa, which is additional types of investors could now participate. And we saw this with Bitcoin, and we're still engaged with a lot of investors about Bitcoin and how that fits in people's portfolios. But what I like to say is, look, this is software. And if you're an investor, sure, you need to know the macro, Fed policy and all that with respect to Bitcoin and our ETF HODL, HODL. But you also have to know how there's software networks and how is usage.
Okay, if you don't know what HODL is, real easy answer. HODL is basically holding. Okay, holding on to your crypto, holding on to your investments, holding on to your portfolio. And it was in a letter that was sent, and it was misspelled. And from that misspelling, they have adopted HODL as, as a new legitimate word, and it really does have a meaning. And that's basically to hold on. Just like you hear diamond hands, where you're going to hold on, you're going to last the up and down of your stocks or your crypto or whatever the case may be. Basically the same thing.
On those networks changing. And so that kind of information, even though it's totally transparent on the internet, is very hard for the average investor to kind of analyze. We try to do that through our research, but there's an overwhelming amount of education around these digital asset softwares. And I also think that, kind of what's the shorthand for it? So is it the silver? Or we like to say, is it the app store? What are these what's the defining characteristic of these different software platforms?
All right. Well, shout out to CNBC for that video. We really do appreciate the opportunity to share a lot of this information with you. And we take those things very seriously. Okay, so now we have one. This is from financemagnets.com. Get this one pulled up. Actually, again, it is the software. I'm going to take just a second here. All right. We're still in the process of learning this software. Okay, SEC is closing investigation into the Ethereum as a security. And this is a huge, huge deal for you and me, and not only us as the retail investors. If you've heard that term, retail investors, that is us. That is the individuals or the families or the groups of people that are out there, like in investment clubs. So this is a huge win for the little person, and that's why I wanted to bring this to you today. The Enforcement Division of the SEC has notified us that it is closing its investigation into Ethereum 2.0. The tweet by the company stated, in adding, this means the SEC will not bring charges alleging that the sale of ETH or ETH are securities transactions. Consensus further confirmed that the decision came after the US-based blockchain firm sent a letter to the regulator on June 7th asking to confirm that the May ETH, or Ethereum, ETF approvals, which were premised on ETH being a commodity, meant the agency would close its Ethereum 2.0 investigation. And we actually have a copy of that. Let me get that pulled up. I can share that with you. That should be it. All right, here we go. Hopefully you can read that along with me. Let's see if we can make this a little bit larger. Yep. All right. The decision follows a letter we sent on June 7th asking the SEC to confirm that the May ETH, ETF, wow, that's a mouthful, approvals, which were premised in the ETH being a commodity, meant the agency would close its Ethereum 2.0 investigation. The closing of Ethereum's investigation is, I love that word, huge. But it's not a cure-all for the many blockchain developers. Technology provides industry participants who have suffered under the SEC's unlawful and aggressive crypto enforcement regime. Okay, so hopefully you have caught one of my videos where we specifically talk about that. And here, let me. This ought to be fun. This is perfect timing. Let me pull up a quick video here and share this with you, because this is, well, this is actually one could say almost a prediction that I did. This came out just a little while ago. My description is, this is a harsh opinion video. I'm interested in what you think. Please comment below. Let me know what you think about the SEC acting toward the crypto community. And let's see if I can.
Welcome to Crypto for Seniors, where technology meets wisdom and curiosity evolves into
We're going to
knowledge.
watch a few minutes.
Today's video is titled Crypto Under Siege, an SEC Showdown. This video is for entertainment only and not financial advice. This is based on my opinion from hours of research and documentation from the leaders of the financial community. Is the SEC guilty of domestic terrorism? Hell-bent on destroying the crypto community by dismantling it company by company. Uniswap, Ripple, XRP, Coinbase, Binance, Kraken, and a host of other companies are under siege by the government bent on attacking the leaders of the crypto industry. At a minimum, they seem...
Okay, so I hope you caught that. Did you hear there's something like 9 names that I just mentioned in this video? Did you hear how the SEC literally is targeting the crypto community? And what does that mean? So that is directly impacting you and me in our ability to operate in a decentralized system. where we no longer have to go and do the traditional investments, that we have the right to know what is right for our own selves, our own abilities to make financial decisions. Now, do I think there's a place for the SEC? Absolutely. I think it's very, very important that we have some kind of a overseer, as you would. But I do want them to maybe catch some of the individuals like Sam Bankman-Fried of FTC, FTX. I'm sorry. It's a little late tonight, so I do apologize. So, going after companies like that, yes, that is the SEC. That is what they should do. Be proactive to protect us. I understand that. But for you to step in and block us from the ability to make investment decisions on our own, I am absolutely not for that. And for those of you that are visiting and watching this from around the world, I am only talking about US based. Okay. That is the SEC's reach. That is part of the United States government. And everybody, all these 3-letter agencies, they're all struggling right now to control crypto. And honestly, they never will, because it is decentralized. If it's centralized like the banking system and traditional long-term investments, then yeah, they could control it. But for them to try to control crypto, I don't see it. I see laws coming out, but I think in the end, ultimately, we will be able to make the kind of investment decisions that's right for us, for our family, and our ability to provide generational wealth for our children. And that is what retirement is, making sure we have the money and that we can grace and bless our children with leaving them some money to help them start college funds, whatever the case may be. Okay, let's get back into the video.
Seem to focus on the disruption of decentralization with targeted surgical strikes. One publication even mentioned the potential of the SEC to actually target the general public who does business daily with these companies. No, this is not a conspiracy theory. It is, however, interesting they don't seem to be concerned about winning or losing as long as they cost the industry billions in legal fees and disrupting customers using the exchanges to move or exchange tokens. Please understand, I do believe we need some control and safeguards in the crypto world. This is where, like in the past, industry leaders sit down with government and work together for the greater good. Not the case with the SEC. I agree we have FTX and a host of other companies where greed has blinded the few, causing the many investors to pay the price. Could the SEC be the new adversary in the crypto world? An inquiry that's been brooding. Along with the swift evolution and acceptance of crypto assets, the SEC's role in this fresh digital environment grows increasingly vital, and their actions more consequential. Is the government body out to crush the budding potential of cryptocurrency until it can create and adopt its own tokenomites? Many perceive it to be more intricate than this. Perhaps the SEC is merely an organization attempting to regulate an industry that's proliferating at an alarming velocity. Many branches of our government are blinded by power to control crypto for personal gain. Does this not go against the very fabric of our country? I'm interested in what you think. Please leave me a comment with your thoughts in the comment section of this video. This query reverberates louder with each passing day. It's impracticable to disregard the fact that cryptocurrencies have become a significant part of the global financial system. Major corporations like MicroStrategies and BlackRock are investing in crypto and EFTs and accepting it, putting it on their balance sheets. It's no.
Okay, so this is huge. The two major players really are BlackRock, and BlackRock is a major investment organization. And there was a lot of press just recently about the adoption of Bitcoin's ETFs and how MicroStrategies, the original OG of companies that are putting it on their spreadsheet, and I'm talking about Michael Saylor. If you have not learned anything about Michael Saylor, I would suggest that you go ahead and Google or use one of the search engines and just learn a little bit about him and his adoption. He's got a great website called Hope, Hope. I think it's hope.com. And that is really about educational videos about the importance of Bitcoin and how Bitcoin is becoming a digital currency of the world. So you have places like Venezuela that toward the end, they literally would pay for goods and services. When you went to the grocery store, they would weigh your paper money. It was no longer about the individual bill, like handing someone a $20 bill here in the States. It was about weighing paper money, leaving somebody 20 pounds or the equivalent of worth of paper money. Their fiat currency or their dollars that they have, you know, those have absolutely no value anymore. Same thing that's going on in Africa right now. So what we're finding is people are signing up for places like, and of course this is no shill for these communities, but people are signing up for something like crypto.com, and they're putting their Bitcoin in there and they're getting paid in Bitcoin. And then crypto.com gives you like a little credit card, like a debit card, and you're able to actually spend. So when they're there, if they need to go to the grocery store, they'll hand them their digital crypto credit card. And that's basically how they pay. So they have adopted it around the world. And I think you're going to find that with a lot of the smaller countries that don't have the infrastructure. Okay. And look at our national debt. Not going to go down that rabbit hole right now because we do not talk about politics here. But I would tell you, take a look at our debt, and we've got to do something here. And I really am hoping that I see, at least in my lifetime, the adoption of Bitcoin as a second currency. I know a lot of places do offer you the ability to pay for it. There's a YouTube creator called Randy Hipper. She is known as Miss Teen Crypto. She started when she was a teenager, basically spreading the gospel, if you would, of crypto and crypto adoption. She recently went to a New York pizza restaurant, and she paid with Dogecoin. And that was pretty cool to say. And she did that on a live stream. Shout out to Randy for even doing that and setting that up. And she's also an amazing person. She goes out into the community. She goes out to high schools, and she teaches, classes about digital currency. This is going to be adopted through our children and our grandchildren, right? And I'm talking to you at any age. Our children and our grandchildren are going to be working with crypto and digital assets. And the sooner that we, the boomers of America, as soon as we can adopt that, the better we will be. And so that's the whole focus of my channel, Crypto for Seniors, so that I'm not really focusing on trying to get you guys to buy any crypto. I want you to learn about it. I want the grandma and grandpa. I want the aunt and the uncle, the older ones, who sit around the dinner table and talk with their 20, 30, 40 somethings children and understand what crypto is. I want you to be educated to the point that you can talk to them about things like that. I'd love for you to consider things like getting into iTrust, where you can put, which is something that I'm getting ready to do. Again, I'm not shilling anybody, but It is a digital or cryptocurrency retirement account. So I found myself being retired. Not going to get into this too much, but found myself being retired due to health issues. And then my wife, she found herself retired all in the same month due to her practice, her medical practice being closed. And so I personally, I'm healthy. I just had some when I was working and needed to go ahead and retire pretty quickly. So we're all doing great. Life's good. We're living the dream, but it happened 2 or 3 years early. And that is the whole focus of Crypto for Seniors, giving you guys education so that as you go forward, you guys are taken care of. Okay, let's get back to the video. And then we're going to be winding up here pretty quickly.
Longer a fringe industry. It's penetrating mainstream finance, and the SEC is striving to keep pace because as of yet, they don't realize decentralization is not something they can control. This gives power to the people, which concerns our government. Publications haven't been silent on this issue. The New York Times, in an article titled SEC's crackdown on cryptocurrencies stirs controversy, commented on the increasingly aggressive stance from the SEC and highlighted the potential impact on the industry. Similarly, the Wall Street Journal ran a piece entitled SEC Targets Ripple and Uniswap, Shaking Up the Crypto World, noting that the SEC's actions have sent shockwaves through the industry. Quotes from these articles paint a
I don't know why that says Getty Images, because everything that I use is licensed. It has to be, or I get in trouble. So I'm not exactly sure why the watermark right there did not come off, but rest assured, I pay a lot of money every year for licensing in music and graphics.
picture of an industry in flux, grappling with regulatory challenges. This regulatory body's role is not insignificant in the evolution of finance and money. Consider the recent actions taken by the SEC against prominent players in the crypto space. Ripple, a major blockchain company, found itself facing a lawsuit from the SEC that alleged its XRP token is a security, not a crypto asset as defined by the IRS. This news had a substantial effect on the crypto community, as major exchanges like Coinbase and Kraken delisted XRP, causing its worth to drop dramatically. In addition to Ripple, there's Uniswap, a decentralized exchange based in Brooklyn. The SEC issued them a Wells notice, indicating its intention to sue the exchange. The ensuing impact was palpable. It caused Uniswap's token price to dip by over 20%. Other major crypto exchanges are also feeling the SEC's scrutiny. Binance, the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange, is under the SEC's lens. Major print media has widely covered the SEC's involvement with these companies. For instance, Bloomberg ran the headline, "Binance under investigation by SEC," underscoring the seriousness of the situation. These actions have created a tense atmosphere among crypto industry operators. However, as resilient as the crypto world is, it's time for unity and cooperation. Time for the industry leaders to come together, circle the wagons, and present the SEC with viable answers and solutions. As The Economist advises in its article, crypto's regulatory challenge, transparency, compliance, and a willingness to work with regulators instead of against them could be the way forward.
So, if there's one thing that you're going to learn from me and hanging out with those of us in the Crypto for Seniors community, is not only do I present a problem or an issue, but I'll also give some answers, right? Now, sometimes the power of one can move mountains. And my focus is to bring some of these issues that I see, like homelessness. What is one person going to do? Well, I have brought a video recently where I talked about the homeless, situation, and about one man, Bob Fletcher, who is the sheriff of Ramsey County. And he and his loyal backseaters that watch him go live every Friday night at around anywhere between 8 and 9. Sometimes he surprises us. How when he stops and talks to the homeless, it's not about giving them a hard time. It is about where people have donated from around the world, gift cards, to the sheriff for places like McDonald's. And this is no shout out to any restaurant, but to McDonald's or to Burger King or to Chipotle or whatever. But people have sent them gift cards. So it's actually showing the good people are doing and the power of social media, because he gets somewhere around 15,000 people that watch him every single Friday night. And that's one of the things that I do. I submitted a problem in the video, and then I answered it, and I was able to spotlight a very exceptional individual, at least in my eyes, and I know in 15,000 other loyal backseaters. But if you're interested in that, catch the sheriff. And again, I apologize, I'm trying to keep my voice. We're just about ending the live stream here in just a minute. Second on a mint, so bear with me. All right, just about another 30 or 40 seconds of this.
The promising future of crypto assets may depend on facing these challenges head on, marking the start of a new chapter in the crypto world. In conclusion, the SEC's actions against Ripple, Uniswap, Coinbase, Kraken, and Binance have stirred up the crypto community. The reverberations of these actions have been felt far and wide, creating a significant wave of uncertainty and apprehension. This is felt outside the United States in places where Bitcoin has replaced the failed local currency. This high-profile scrutiny of the major players in the crypto world has caught attention both domestically and internationally. The SEC's growing interest in this digital realm has sparked dialogues and debates about the future of the...
Okay. So I did want to touch on that because this is a great video. We're only 5 minutes into a 7.5 minute. I could really show it, but we just hit our 1 hour, and I don't want to go anything longer than that. So if I can, please help us out. Okay. Down below, if you will click the like button, give us a thumbs up, I would greatly appreciate it. Number two, if you would comment down below a couple of things. Number one, what's your feeling about the SEC? And what, in your opinion, do you think we can do together, binding together, to send to our government to let them know, hey, this is not something we want. We want the ability to invest into the digital world and not be constrained with a tremendous amount of regulations. This is not a grab by any one department within our US based government. Okay, and that is what the situation is. Several of the agencies are trying to fight for getting control. Getting control over the, sometimes I get excited and I talk with my hands, taking control over the crypto world. Okay. So please comment as well, and give us a subscribe. We are in the process of growing our community, and we want to do that. We have some goals that we want to hit coming up real soon. And as part of that, we are going to start giving away quite a bit of items over a period of time. And along with our partnership with Goldshell, we hope to bring you some actual miners. We're going to do some testing of some mining equipment, and then we'll package it up and we will send it to you as a gift from us and the wonderful folks at Goldshell. Okay. All right. Let's go back and bring up this final thing. Not what I wanted. Gosh, I love this software. It really is not bad. It's just, I'm so ready to learn different software. And this one just has got a little bit more of a learning curve. All right, we're going to wind up here. I wanted to talk to you very quickly of our community. Right now, we're just starting out. We've got 48 followers. I am over on X, as you can see. Sometimes you'll look up here and they'll say Twitter. I wish Elon Musk would make his decision. Exactly what are you going to call yourself? We are passionate in educating seniors and those new to the crypto community, being one myself. I had this community to help teach me. I'm planning on speaking to groups of any size, and that is me. I've done training for over 5,000 people in physical and personal and corporate security issues. Okay, but here is some things, some very current announcements. That is our video based on the ruling that just came out. Here is notification of our partnership. I dropped, this is what our studio looked like upstairs. We are in the process of setting the one downstairs. I don't have any of my signage up yet, but that just kind of gives you a look into my world. And then, of course, I've got a lot of really good information here. So feel free to subscribe to X or Twitter, and I would love to have you join us. All right, we're going to wind this down. Thank you very much for joining us. It is my great honor that you have spent about an hour with us, maybe a little bit more. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you. I do want to remind you that there are several ways you can get a hold of me. You can go into our Discord server and have direct access to me. If you have some questions, I will never answer a financial question. However, in financial questions, I can direct you to publicly available websites that may be able to answer those questions for you. Okay. But I will never provide you with any financial advice. Very, very important that you know that and you understand that. All right. Just checking our chat. I think I have managed to answer just about everyone. Let me just take a quick look here. Just throw this up. Help! I've fallen and I can't get up. All right. Nope. It definitely looks like we are caught up in chats. So thank you very much for joining us. We really appreciate it. Again, my name is Mark with Crypto for Seniors. We do not always focus strictly on seniors. We really want to try to get to the 20 and 30 something so that as you grow and mature and you get to my age where you're in retirement, that you have planned and you've done it well. So anything from your 20s to your 90s, please, please, please consider subscribing and joining us. Love each and every one of you. Take care of yourself. Most importantly, take care of each other. Bye for now.